Correct. Committee on Parole's call to order today is Thursday, November the 3rd, 9:05 a.m. My name is Brennan Kelsey. I'll be the chair, along with me, Ms. Bonnie Jackson, and Mr. Pete Freeman. Staff and support seat at the DOC headquarters in Baton Rouge. Our remote location is the Quincy, with staff and support at the Quincy. Please introduce yourself. Staff, y'all are on mute, but I just need staff to staff.
Joshua Blanchard. I'm the jailer.
You're the what?
Jailer.
Okay. All right, Joshua. All right, we're ready for our first case. We also have some people that we speak at the appropriate time. Mike Shahanik will be speaking. Darlene Wright will be speaking. Carolyn Lewis will be speaking. And Tracy Antoine is here, but will not be speaking. All right, please introduce yourself, state your name and DOC number for the record.
My name is Joseph Antoine, DOC 350334.
Joseph, you heard the introductions. We'll have a parole interview. Ask you some questions. You can respond. At the end, you can make a statement. We'll take a vote. Do you understand the process?
Yes, sir.
Joseph Antoine, DOC number 350334. You're a second-class offender. Parole eligibility date 9/27/2022. Good time date 12/17/2028. Full-term date 5/5/2041. You have a sentence of 24 years, 5 months, and 21 days. For manslaughter, distribution of cocaine, distribution with Schedule 2 with intent to distribute. Does that sound correct?
That was my first charge, sir. Charge I'm on now is distribution of methamphetamines and possession of methamphetamines.
Distribution of methamphetamines and possession of methamphetamines.
Yes, sir.
Right, I got you. That's right. All right, would you answer Mr. Freeman's questions?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Antoine, how old are you?
47.
How long have you been in jail on these charges?
5 years.
Okay, so your probation was revoked on the manslaughter charge, correct?
Yes, sir. My parole was revoked whenever I copped out to the charge.
Okay. Well, tell me about your new charge. What were you doing? Were you dealing or were you using?
No, sir. I was a supplier.
Okay.
Who I was supplying to told on me, and that's why I came to jail.
Okay. Well, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a bad thing, sir. After doing 22 and a half years, I had no reason to do it, but I felt that by me being gone that long, I was trying to get a step up in life. And I really didn't have that to do because I had a job. I just got married when I came home. But I still had the mentality of a 19-year-old. And I didn't know it at the time, but as I sit and reflect on everything, in 22 and a half years, I was kind of stuck. And that's what happened.
Okay. Did you have you taken any classes with regards to your cocaine or meth?
But whenever I stayed at DCI like for a year and some change, and the only class that I did get into was Cage Your Age and another self-help program that was faith-based, but I came here in February 4th of last year. So I didn't stay that long, but I did finish the Cage Your Age, and they gave me credit for the other program that I was in, but I was in it for a couple of days because they moved me from one trustee camp from Unit 4 back to Unit 3, and they didn't have that class at Unit 3, so I wasn't able to finish that.
What did you learn from Cage Your Age?
Something that I learned from my previous jobs, and how I took anger management, how to not, how can I say it? I'm not a violent person, so it just helped me just, whenever I get mad, how to find something else to focus on and let that go away, because I had to learn that some things you just can't change, and the things that you can't change, you just have to put in God's hand.
Okay. Let's go back to your manslaughter charge. What went on there? Was there an altercation prior to the incident at the Kettle restaurant?
Yes, sir. I got jumped on down the street at the VFW Hall on Legion Street. And we both met up at where he was already there, but when I went in there, I seen him whenever I went in. It was at the kettle we was going to eat. So whenever I went in, I went to the bathroom. When we came back out, I was standing in front of the kettle, right by the cash registers. And his girlfriend got him to come up towards us where we was at. And a couple of words was passed. He said he had bust the man window because that's how the fight started when they bust Richard Milburn's window and got him to stop the car. And whenever I got out, they jumped on me. So when Kerry Van Buren and Corey Rouse was speaking, he asked why they jumped me. Lisa Moore started cussing me. Kerry Van Buren called her name. The guy pushed him. He punched him. The guy pulled out the gun and shot him. He ran past me. The gun pointed at me. And all I did, I just pulled the gun I had and I fired in return. I fired to protect myself, and I still feel that way.
Okay, so you saying that Joseph shot at you first?
Corey Rise shot the man that was standing in front of me. Kerry Van Buren shot him in the arm. And when he passed by me, the gun was pointed at me.
You had just got out on parole when you got the drug charges, correct?
10 months. Yes, sir.
Okay. And you had 4 juvenile arrests prior to your adult arrest? Curfew violations and things of that nature?
Yes, sir. All curfew violations.
Correct. Tell me about the arrest you had back in '92 for second-degree battery on a police officer. What happened there? Looks like you were drunk also at that time.
I was. And I went to the jail to put some money on somebody's books. And one of the guards escorted me out and kicked me in my butt. And I grabbed him and we started fighting. And they brought me to jail.
Okay. Have you taken any classes with regards to your drinking?
I was young then, sir. I'm not in 22 and a half years in prison, killed all that.
I mean, did you take classes though when you did the 20?
I did the AA, the NA.
Like I said, you only got revoked one time, and that was on this charge. Judge Ritchie and the Assistant DA, Mr. Williams, Commander Nick Fontenot, all opposed to you getting out. Your daughter, Samantha Antoine, is unopposed. Mr. and Mrs. Antoine, they're opposed, but they said they would leave it in our hands, that they needed to move on with their life. What is going to be your transition plan? Where you going? Where you going to live? What you going to do?
Right. I'm going to be living in Lake Charles in the Terrace at my mother-in-law's. I'm a welder, and I got jobs waiting on me back at Energy where I was before I was locked up, because from the time I got out to the time that my parole officer locked me up, I had a job at Energy. And
What kind of money were you making?
I was making $15.50 an hour, but I wasn't welding. I was doing maintenance work. I was just doing the washing, but it was a job, and it was a good job. I worked 8 days straight, then off 6.
Well, it's a good job. I mean, I still can't quite put my arms around why you went back to dealing drugs once you got out. What you say you were thinking, like a 19-year-old. How long have you been over there at the Quincy?
February 4th of last year, of 2021.
What's your job over there?
Road crew, cutting ditches, cutting grass, and then I worked inside for a while as the cook, and then they needed somebody to go back out there to run the crew. They got me as a I don't know how they say it, but they got me as the lead man.
They paying you for that?
No, sir.
Okay, so you just kind of like a trustee.
I am.
Well,
That's what this is.
You had some very good letters written for you. About the former warden and chief of the Quincy. One guy that you worked with, Weldon, and your nephew also wrote a good letter. Jailer, if y'all had any problems with Mr. Antoine since he's been there?
No, sir, I haven't had any, and I don't know of any other problems, but I've only been here for about a week.
I haven't. All right.
Just tell me, make me understand again. I just, like I said, I have a hard time. You know, you were in jail for as long as you were. You got out, you had a job at Energy. You're a welder. I'm just trying to figure out why you went back to the drug game. I'm having a hard time with that. Sound like a good guy. You sound like an intelligent guy. You obviously will hear from people that are supporting you. But I mean, that's a problem for me, man. What's that about?
Right. Like I said, I was gone for 22 and a half years. Never did a deal work in my life as far as on the streets. They have no type of to build a 401k or anything like that. So whenever I came home with nothing. I came home with nothing but I got married and I was just trying to get a leg under me. It wasn't nothing for long term. I was just trying to get a leg under me, but still I was wrong for doing it because all I had to do was just stay course, stay what I was doing, because I was going back to school too to finish my welding as for TIGging and everything. See, out here, once you get out, you know, they'll give you a job, but getting in a field like that, you have to know somebody or somebody have to see some of your work. And I didn't have a chance to do none of that.
Yeah, but you didn't give yourself a chance. You're 6 months out and you started. I mean, you're going to get out. It's going to be tough. You know, stuff out here. We got a lot of stresses. We got a lot going on. You're going to have times where you can't pay your bills. You got this, you got that. I mean, so what's going to make me feel good that you're not going to just turn right back to it? I hear what you're saying, but you know, look, you had 22 years to think about that. You got out and that's exactly what you went right back to.
Because, like I said, I still had the mentality I had when I left the streets at 19, because that's what I was doing when I was out there. There's no even, but that's what I was doing.
No, I understand. I understand that. I do understand it. But you weren't 19 when you were released. I mean, that's all part of the growing up process. That's a part of reflecting and having all those years to say, hey, man, I got to do right. I got to walk the fine line here. I mean, I got a manslaughter case, regardless of how it went down. I mean, we're not here to try that, but, you know, look, it's just concerning to me. I don't know how I'm gonna vote. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. I think you're a good guy. I think you got some good support, but that's concerning to me. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, I do. And can I say this?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
See, these last 5 years I've been doing in jail, this really opened my eyes because whenever I did what I did, I'm thinking I was being slick. I'm putting it in somebody else's hands, so it ain't gonna come back on me, but it did. And as long as my hand was out there in the streets, it's gonna always come back to me. So therefore, from here on out, all I want to do is just live my life with my wife and try my best because I wasn't there for my child at all. I left 5 months before she was born. And when I came home, she was 22 years old. So I didn't have nothing to do with it. I got 6 grandkids now. And I don't want them to go down the road I went down or the road their mother didn't went down.
No, I understand. You probably had a few of those did you have any of those grandchildren 5 years ago?
I only had 3. I had 3.
I mean, that's 3. I mean, that's 3 of them. I mean, that's 3 of them. The thing is, are you going back to the same area where you got in all that trouble?
No, sir.
Because I mean, look, those same cats gonna call you. I mean, you don't think they're gonna get out and they just forgot about you? I mean, they're gonna be looking for you. They're gonna call you. Hey, look, man, we make a little money. We could do. I mean, you know, how you gonna stay away from that?
Can't do it no more. I'm 47 years old. I'm almost 50. I can't do it no more.
Listen. I hear you and I believe you. You can't do it no more. It's just, you know, that's just, you know, a little concerning me. Look, I want to listen to what people got to say. We're here first for Miss Darlene Wright. Is Miss Darlene on the phone, on the computer here? Is she?
Yes,
Go ahead,
Yes.
Miss Darlene, make a brief statement.
I'm his sister, and I'm here if you need. I live in Texas. So if you feel that the influence in Louisiana is bad, he is more than welcome, him and his wife, to come here and make a living here, to be away from all of that and stuff. Because I have 7 grandkids myself that don't know my brother. And I desperately want them to know my brother. Because it has changed. He's not who he was back then.
Okay, thank you for your comment. Miss Carolyn Lewis?
Yes, I'm the mother-in-law.
Yes, ma'am.
I think Joseph is a special person. He's real nice and kind. And I'm willing for him to live with me, he and his wife. And I'm a God-fearing woman. And my word is, everybody has to abide by my rules at my house. And I will stick close to him and try to guide him. But I feel like he's learned his lesson. So I'm asking the good Lord, and I'm praying that God will make a way out of no way. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Mr. Mike Shenek? I think you're on mute, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Oh, we can hear
Sorry.
you now. Go ahead. Yes, sir.
I was just giving support to Joe today. I was a police chief in DeQuincy for 25 years. And when I left that job in 19, I took over the jail, and I had occasion to interact with Joe on a daily basis. And he was my inside trustee at that time. He was our cook and took care of all our morning meals, our evening meals, and our lunchtime meals, and took care of our building. And just got to know Joe pretty good, and he always was willing to go above and beyond and help out whatever we needed. And I think we've had a lot of long talks, me and Joe. And I think, and I don't do this for everybody. You know, I don't get on pro board and talk for every trustee we've had. We've had a lot of them. But Joe, he messed up, and he realized he messed up. He should have stayed the course. It was set out for him, but he didn't do that. And I think he realizes now that he's got to stay the course. You got a wife, children, and it seems like his sisters. I never met her, but they seem like they're going to support him, and I think I'm hoping and praying that he'll do good.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for your comment. All right. Joseph, like to make a statement on your behalf?
Like I said before, sir,
Joseph, go ahead. Joseph, make a push this off. All right, go ahead. We can see you now.
everything that I did is all my fault. This whole thing was my fault. So it's nobody I can fault but myself for being there. What I'm asking is that I get a chance this time, because last time I never made parole. I had to do half my time. I did the 2020. I understand why. The only thing I'm asking now, give me a shot. I ain't gonna never see me again. I give you my word on that. Y'all ain't gonna never see me again. I got too much out there that I need to be there for. And I realize that no more penitentiary chances. All I want to do is just work and live my life as best I can with my wife.
Okay. Somebody else wants to speak here? We'll give you a brief second. We normally just have 3 speakers, but if somebody else wants to speak with William?
Yes, sir.
Huh? Okay, go ahead and make a brief statement.
I've known Joe for about a year. He's a trustee, came in as trustee status. Joe, he's the I guess you'd call him the daddy of the inmates back there. We let him be the lead man on the crew to kind of guide the younger men when they have problems. He's the go-between between those inmates and the jailers and the wardens and myself, which is a captain. And he's the liaison, and he comes to us and he gives them and tries to lead them best as he can. Knowing the charges that he had and the way I've seen him work and be around the people that'll be around the jailers, the dispatchers, the other officers, and the visitors that would come in. It's hard to imagine that he did what he did. He seems like that he's learned his lesson, and I'm hoping he does well. I really do. And this is the first time I've ever talked to a parole board. I'm like big Mike there. I don't go out and do this just for anybody. So this is the first time, and I feel like it's worthwhile, and I feel like he's learned his lesson.
All right. Thank you for your comment. You go ahead and wrap up, Joseph. Go ahead and finish up, Joseph, what you'd like to say. Sorry about that. I wasn't aware there was someone else.
I said, sir, I know I did wrong. I got caught for it. And I can't dispute that. One thing I'm asking is, give me a shot this time. Y'all won't regret it. Not coming back. Y'all ain't gonna see me no more. Pay my fees, do whatever I need to do. That's a wrap. Because all I want to do is just live out the rest of my life with my wife and my family. That's it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for your comment. Health prepared to vote? Ms. Freeman?
All right, Joel, you're a real hard case for me. You know, you got out on parole after 22 and a half years and boom, you come right back. You know, you had a very good interview. You got a good head on your shoulders, I can tell. People spoke up for you that normally don't speak up for other trustees, which I think speaks highly of you. You know, you got one strike when you got that first revocation.
Yes, sir.
For some reason, you didn't talk me into giving you a second strike, but there won't be a third, I'm gonna tell you. My vote is to grant with a 9 p.m. to a 6 a.m. curfew unless you need to go somewhere for work. Get with your probation officer. I'm not gonna put a ton of conditions on you. I would suggest that maybe you go to Texas with your sister. You know, get out of that community because Mr. Kelsey's right. Once they hear that you out, they're gonna come see if you can hook them up again. So that's my vote today, and I wish you good luck. Good luck.
Ms. Jackson?
Mr. Antoine, I agree with Mr. Freeman. You had a good interview. I was really impressed by the former warden and captain who spoke so highly of you. You have a good support system. You know, one of the things, comments that your daughter made was that you were taken away from her 2 times. Well, you weren't taken away. You put yourself there. And I hope that you will take advantage of this opportunity to actually be there for your family. So my vote today would be to grant your early release. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
All right, I guess it's left up to me, huh?
Sir.
Listen, you know, you had a good interview. You have a lot of good support. I mean, you got a lot going for you. And you know, you've done a lot of time. You know, I don't want to see you again. How about that? I don't want to see you again. I don't want to be looking on up here, looking in a year. I look up and there you are again. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna vote with my colleagues. And give you an opportunity, but I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to see you again. I don't want to again. I would, I'm gonna vote to grant you. You know, look, you got a lot of great support. You got, you know, you're a smart guy. You got people out there that need you. It's time to be a man and go out there and take care of them. You got good skills. I want you to have a curfew from 9 p to 6 a. I do want you to go to NAA one time a week. I want you to be involved with that program. You've been around drugs. I get it. You're a drug. You need to go see what's going on there. Get involved. I want you to do 6 hours a month of community service. I want you to go give back to the community, go to churches, speak to people that are younger than you. Just let them know what you've been through. Let them know maybe you can help somebody. I mean, I know you got to help your family, but those are some things that I want you to do. I want you to maintain some full-time employment, which I'm sure you will. So do you understand those stipulations? Do you have any problems with those stipulations?
Sir.
So you have 9 p to 6 a unless you're working. You'll go to NAA just once a week, meet with sober people, understand about, because you know that little bit of drug dealing that you did affected a lot of people. See how that affects you. And then have community service 6 hours a month. Okay, get back. 3 votes to grant. Your parole's been granted. Wish you good luck, man.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank
Have a
you
good
all.
day. And we'll adjourn to Quincy. Y'all take care.
I gotta tell you, I could have seen this going the other way very easily. I mean, what he finished serving like a 25-year sentence, got out, and basically came straight back on a manslaughter charge, which they're just taking for face value like it was self-defense type thing, but he's still a convicted felon with a weapon and then killing someone with it. And he's back for 5 years. It's, I guess you got to say was it because the former captain and warden came and spoke on his behalf, and they're running with that. So good for him, I guess, right? I have someone coming to the house, so I have to end this early, but I'll leave it at that.